The next thing that emotionally immature people do when they're triggered is that they make it all about them. So you bring up something that they did that may have hurt your feelings, and then all of a sudden, you're the one who's comforting them. This is something called emotional hijacking, and it's subtle, but it's powerful. And it can look something like this. You come to someone and you say, when you did that, it hurt my feelings, or that really didn't feel fair to me, or that really bothered me, and that kind of just like made me feel bad. And you're trying to tell them how you're feeling. And all of a sudden, they go into how they're feeling. And they say something like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I'm such a bad person. I can't do anything right. What's wrong with me? I guess I'm just a failure. And all of a sudden, you're trying to make them feel better when you're the one who came to them trying to express a hurt or a frustration or a pain. And now understanding that they're not necessarily trying to be manipulative. It's just that your complaint or your feedback brought big feelings up for them and they didn't know what to do with it. And so they got so caught up in their own feelings that they forgot to pay attention to yours. Or maybe it didn't even occur to them to pay attention to yours because they were so wrapped up in their own. So instead of them being able to hold any space for you, they just have the capacity to hold the space for themselves and their emotions and actually want you to be able to now hold the space for them as well. So really understanding that when someone turns your vulnerability into their crisis, that's not empathy. That's enmeshment. The next thing that emotionally immature people do when they're triggered is they get passive aggressive. They don't actually say that they're upset, but you know that something is off. They give you the cold shoulder. They give you the silent treatment. They say, I'm fine. They make sarcastic comments. They give the eye roll. They lay the guilt trips. Or they say something hurtful and then laugh it off and say, oh, I'm just joking. But why do they do this? Because honesty feels too risky. So their resentment or their hurt leaks out sideways or just goes right around through the back door. But here's the thing. Sideways hostility is still hostility. Passive aggressiveness is still aggressive. It's still someone's attempt to offset their dysregulated emotion and put it onto you.